And evergreen funnels aren't necessarily that different from live launches. Yet I see so many people, including myself in the past, doing launch after launch after launch and putting in so much effort there, yet never getting around to that evergreen funnel, although the benefits are so clear. So I thought, okay, this is actually funny. Let's ask ChatGPT, why is that? Why do so many people not focus on evergreen funnels, although the advantages of having an evergreen funnel is so obvious? So I went to my chatty friends and I asked, why do most people never switch to evergreen funnels from launches, even though there are such obvious big advantages to those funnels and sales?
Hello, and welcome to Fail to Win, a show where we love to make mistakes and learn from them so you can turn your passion into profits and live life on your own terms. I'm Amy van der Putten from FastForwardAmy, your host and coach, and I'll bring you a new episode with simple strategies every Tuesday.
It said, a sneaky cocktail of mindset blocks, bad habits, and short-term validation loops. So it actually gave me 5 and I added a 6th one. 6 reasons why people never switch to evergreen launches. And I want you to score yourself on the next couple of pages. So take out a piece of paper, score yourself. Because I want to have a look at where you are in this process and how ready you are to build evergreen funnels. So you're going to score yourself a 1 when you recognize this is you, a 0 when it's not you. So 1, the launch high is addictive. You really love launching because there's a lot of dopamine there. You get fast sales. This is definitely me, by the way. And you know, this is like live concerts. You just love that rush. If you're a little bit of a high sensation seeker and you actually kind of are addicted to stress, this might be you. Spoiler, almost everyone has this, every entrepreneur I know. Yeah, this is just something you've up until this point, and the fact that you're here right now is probably because this is starting to feel too heavy for you, but I want you to score yourself on, let's say, like the past couple of months or in the past year. Would you say this was true, and every time you had a new idea you're like, yes, this is how I can like go and make that happen fast, and you score yourself a 1. So this is a yes, this is me. Second one, you don't know where to start. So maybe you're like, evergreen sounds great, but do I build a lead magnet first? Emails? What about all of the technology? Do I need to add ads? I don't have any ads set up. Maybe you're just like stuck on all of the decisions, you don't really know where to start. Then you score yourself a 1 as well. You're stuck in survival launch cycles. True for so many entrepreneurs. Maybe every month you look at your cash flow, you're like, shit, we need to launch something quickly. And you just don't have the cash flow buffer and the space to work on the evergreen stuff because you were always working month to month. As we grow our business to 1 million and beyond, we kind of want to step away from that and want to start scaling. But sometimes that means that you need to take a couple of steps back in order to make that happen. But maybe you don't have the space for that. So, if you're always going from launch to launch, even new product or new bundle or whatever, because you need the cash stats, this is where you score yourself a 1. And then perfectionism kills momentum. When you launch, you'll probably be like, I have an idea, let's go live tomorrow or next week. But when you look at an evergreen funnel, you're probably like, oh, I don't know if this is good enough. Should I do this? Oh no, the landing page needs to be better. Oh, the video, that's an old video. I can't use that old video. So maybe you're feeling a bit of perfectionism about an evergreen funnel. I know this is also definitely me. I had this a few weeks ago where I was like, oh, I see how I can optimize that evergreen funnel. We turn it off and the ads are off. But before we turn the ads on, I might need to re-record that video because I want to increase the conversion. And I was like, and you don't actually have time for this because you're in LA, you're hosting your own retreats. Maybe just already turn it on. And then when you have time, you can improve the video. So this is a good example. Like you can already turn it on. For example, with the webinar you did live and turn that evergreen and then re-record the evergreen afterwards. Not every piece needs to be perfect already. This is actually a really big thing we focused on during my retreats. Like, how can you get the first draft out instead of the perfect funnel? Okay, this is another big one. I don't necessarily struggle with this one, but maybe you do. Maybe you're thinking, if I'm not live, it won't work. People only buy because of me when I'm live, blah, blah, blah. And that's why you're not into the evergreen funnel. So score yourself a 1 if you recognize yourself in this. And then after the 6 mistakes or the 6 reasons, we're going to count it all up. And then number 6, they don't know or don't look at their data. My clients laughed when I showed them this slide because they said, oh my God, you added that one. That was not ChatGPT. And I was like, wow, you guys, like they've been with me for a while. Many of them have also re-signed. 1 second, they are at the door. I forgot to put the do not disturb on. Yeah, that was Minibar people. As I said, I'm staying at a hotel. They just brought water. I always forget to put the do not disturb sign out. Okay. This is a nice example of freedom, and everyone is like, ooh, the hotel lifestyle. It's also a little bit awkward at times, but I still, like, this was my dream, you know, when I was, let me check the mic. I hope this is fine. I remember a couple of years ago when I was still in university, I saw my brother, who's a photographer, post that he was shooting something in Miami, and I was like, you are living the life. I wish I could, like, travel to nice hotels and work from there. And I remember my mom telling me, your time will come. And then, so when I'm spending a week in a beautiful hotel like this one, where they bring you water to your room, and where the sun is shining, and after this video I get to go outside and still work, that's when I just, like, try to remind myself, like, this is what you wanted. So, yeah. But about that last fact, you don't know, or you're not looking at your data. And this is actually one of the biggest reasons why we never actually make an evergreen funnel work well, is because we're not focusing on the data. So we don't actually realize that it's converting or not converting or whatever, or how close you really are. So if you're not a data person, you're a little bit afraid of Excel sheets and stuff, you probably need to give yourself a score of 1 here. Okay, so let's count it all up. What does your score mean? 0 to 1. You are ready. Maybe you already have a funnel set up. My clients who scored themselves here, they already had it set up, but we improved it throughout the retreat. If you're between a 2 and a 3, you are close, but we need a little bit of clarity and structure. And 4 to 6, you're probably stuck in launch mode. Now, none of this matters. Actually, my clients all scored throughout all of this during the retreats, and they still all ended the retreat by having a funnel. And we're now a week later, and many of them have texted me like, yeah, I have it set up. One client also texted me she hit 1 million this week, so that was really fun. But we want to shift this. So in the rest of the presentation, I'm just going to show you what you need in order to build a funnel. I'm not going to show you the how. You need to pay me if you want me to show you that. Like my clients paid me, but I am going to show you what you need. So maybe it gives you a little bit of clarity and structure. Okay. And what I want to tell you is one funnel can change everything. I see so many times people are like, I'm going to make a funnel for this product and then for this product and then for that product. But then you get in this situation where you have a bunch of candles and only one lighter, and you're like, the lighter goes to one candle and then to the second candle and then the third candle, and none of the candles actually get lit. What I always tell my clients is take the lighter, take the one candle, light it for long enough. Once that's running, you can actually light the second candle with the first candle because the fire is burning. So let's focus on one funnel first, and you need some discipline and determination to roll it out. And obviously, if you want my help, you can apply for my programs where I'm going to teach you. So if I had a choice to actually tell you what to do and sit you down at a retreat of mine, this is what we would do. I would sit you down with a little notebook that I gave you. I have my notebooks here. I always make custom notebooks for my clients, and then I steal them for myself, obviously. This is the Self-Made Millionaire notebook, and I would sit you down and I would ask you, okay, if you had an evergreen funnel bringing in consistent sales every day, let's say 1,000 a day, 30,000 a month, how would your business and life be different? So you can pause me for a second, write that down, that sentence, and I would say take at least 5 minutes to write it out. So I'm going to sip my coffee, actually blow my nose. Yeah, I'll be right back. And you're going to write this down. And I'm just going to leave this running so you have some time because you're not going to pause me. Okay? BRB. So while you were journaling, there was a phone. So I put the do not disturb sign out, and then there was this ringing sound. I was like, where is that coming from? Is that the front door of the room? Is that actually the phone in my room? It was the phone in the toilet. I hadn't even noticed we have a phone in the toilet. Why do people put phones on in the toilet? Like, that's such a weird thing to do. I know it always cracks up my youngest brother. He's always like, yeah, I can call you from the bathroom. I think that's a Friends thing too. I think Joey makes jokes about that at certain points. I don't know. Okay, so I hope you answered that question for yourself. Or maybe by this point you've tuned out to the video. shame on you, because now we're going to look at what the funnel actually looks like. But okay, my guess is you would feel a lot more at peace. You would feel a lot more at ease, which actually opens up a lot more creativity. So this is something a lot of people don't know, but your prefrontal cortex, the more stressed you are, the less well it works. And that means when you are stressed about money, you actually block your creative thinking, and you actually have less white space, and you come up with less good ideas. So this is why when you're super relaxed, sometimes you'll have the greatest ideas. But when you're constantly stressed out about the day-to-day operations of your business, financial stress, then it just gets really, really hard to tune into your visionary thinking. So an evergreen funnel can actually improve your innovation in your business, because you will just have more space for big thinking. Okay, so one thing before we dive into what that funnel looks like that I want to say is, a lot of people say a funnel is just like set it and forget it, but that's not true. Because if you set your funnel and you forget it, you will get 0 sales. A funnel is set it and optimize it, because it will need tweaking. You will see that maybe you recorded a video and no one actually buys, and your webinar isn't converting, or maybe no one likes your lead magnet, or maybe people get to your landing page but then they don't sign up, or, and this is a really big one, I'll show you that later, but when you have a funnel, you're going to see that if you want to double your sales, you can double your traffic. But it's actually much easier to double your conversions than it is to double your traffic, and also much cheaper. So this is one of those things that we want to optimize.